Okay, so I've been trying to figure out this costume. Can you see it? Her sleeve right here, and also the ruffles here. So this is a 15th century Italy, Milan. This is the Visconti-Sforza tarot deck. This is a recreation. This is not the original. So in the original, she has a lion on her shoulder here, and then also these scales, and then her armor and the sword. I can't figure out the lion. I can't figure it out. Is it metal? Is it armor? Is it gold armor? Is it brocade? Is it embroidery? Which is what I'm probably going to end up, because I'm going to recreate this. So how do I do that? So you can't see the lion here because it's very not detailed, for like, especially compared to the rest of her. It's not detailed, which is weird. And also there's no other, all the other queens of the suits don't look like her. Like, this is the only white dress. This is the only facing this way, like this. It's the only one like that in the deck, and it's driving me crazy. So, and even this crown isn't correct either. This isn't like the original, but what do I do to recreate this? Also, her dress, the silhouette, so it's driving me crazy. This neckline is probably fur. This is probably fur here, but then there's a band at the top of it, which I haven't seen any examples of a band with the fur, because what I can see is, from this time period, is just the fur collar. Like, it would just be fur and fur lined, but then there's a band there. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And then her waistline, her waistband, is kind of thick. I've seen some examples of a thicker waistband, but that high of a neckline is for, like, older ladies. Older ladies wanted more modesty and had a higher neckline than the younger women with lower necklines. So, you know, and this was probably based on a Sforza lady? I need to do more research, but it's driving me insane. I'm going insane over this. I can't think anymore. I can't think anymore. So, yeah. Alright. I'll check back in when I have more details. Okay. This is what I'm talking about. This is the original. And you can see the lion here. It's a derpy little face. I don't fully understand, because, like, right through here, it would make sense that it was, like, armor, right? And have the little offshoots right here, because you can see the sleeve here. Right here, the sleeve line. And then he puffs out a little bit. Is it armor? Is it not? Because then the scales, and it was someone, so I've been asking questions in basically every Facebook group I'm a part of. Just like, anybody help me with this. And one person pointed out that because there's paint missing and just wear and tear over time, that maybe this was painted a different color. Because I believe this red here, like right here, is under the paint, maybe? Because, like, what are these red dots here? Like, it makes sense that it's an embellishment on the waistband, and then the red embroidery on the hem, which is little flowers Can you see that? It's like a little 5-pointed flower, which on the recreation it's not that, and the recreation does not have her crown correct. These little flower shapes. The crown is incorrect on the recreation. Anyway, like, what is he? So, in other versions of the deck, this is a different version of the Queen of Swords. Or no, this was the Knight of Swords? Lady Knight? I don't remember. Anyway, this is what the Queen of Coins looks like. She's facing the other way. And she has the Polanda, I believe, which has the long sleeves. Or maybe that's a cape. I don't remember. But this is a Polanda, the Wheel of Fortune here. She has Fate herself with the wings and the blindfold. She has the long sleeves, which fade into the wheel. Weird. Not weird. It's cool. Anyway, she has the high waistline, and a collar here, which is probably her camisia or chemise. That's probably what that is. Under the, or is it like a band on top of the, I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, these are my other examples of what I'm talking about with this. And another, not concern, but yes, concern of mine is that I can't find any examples of this neckline with the gathered bust here. It's gathered here. There's pleats, not pleats, but like folds here, and I can't find anything that looks like that. So okay, here's an armor sleeve that could be like, it's got the kind of the scales going on, and that's around the time period. That's underwear around the time period. Okay, so this was a Sforza, I believe, and the disconnected sleeves were a thing of the time period, and you can see her camisia through it. That's one example. Here's another example of, like, just a study, I don't know. Okay, the Polanda is the overdress. So we're thinking the white here is a sleeveless Polanda, and then the gold sleeve is part of the Gamura underneath. Oops. Yeah, Quattrocento, excuse me, 14th century. So this is about 100 years before. No, uno, dos, tres, cuatro. Yeah, cuatro's 4. Sorry. Crew neckline, bag sleeves. Lined and richly ornamented pearls and fur around the neckline, edges, and hem and the cuff. Breadth of the dress gathered into folds and held in place with a belt placed above the waist. Dags were commonly found in the side sleeves. So, I'm thinking dagged scales under the lion, and I still can't figure out the lion. I think he's an embroidery. So let's see. There's an example of Gamura sleeve, and then the Polanda over it, I believe. The sleeves don't match the dress, essentially. Here's an example of that neckline and the gathers. I also want to recreate this look, this Mary. Anyway, Here's an example of dagged sleeves and edges and such. Here's another example. So here's my evidence of fur. The fur collar, but then there's no band at the top, see? So it's just the fur, which is, makes sense, because it would be fur-lined. See, fur-lined. And then it comes up at the collar to be there. And then here's dagged sleeves. So it's a bit more complicated of a shape than just the scales, but there's an example. This is my best example so far of, but it's got sleeves. The Polana has sleeves, but it has the same gathers here at the bust and the same neckline. So that's, and then the different colored sleeves of the Gamura under. Okay. So, yeah, here's my little doodle of, that's the lion's face, if you hadn't seen it before. This Negroli, something Negroli, he did armor. This is about 100 years after my time period for the tarot card. And that lion face is pretty dang close. Actually, hold on a second. Okay, here's my doodle. This is the sleeve on the Queen of Swords, and this is Francis I's armor with lions. It's similar. Yeah, the eyes pointing up. It's got itty-bitty ears, and then the fluff, and then the mouth. But then the scales are different than... Alright, anyway. Back to phone time. So, okay. He's close. But also 100 years later. But also based on antiquity, so I don't know. Here's just the sleeves of the Camisier, folded and held in place by the sleeve of the Gamura. So the sleeves of the Gamura are not all the way around. It's panels, essentially. Here, you can't see it very well, but it's the embellished neckline with the pleated camisia, which could be what Queen of Swords has. Let's go back. I'll just show you, use this. So this could be like puffed out camisia with an embellished neckline rather than fur. So I'm not sure about that. So I have two options. Fur, which would kill me in the heat because I'm going to be outside in the heat with this dress, or camisia, gathered, and then that lower neckline would make a little bit more sense, but also, like, it's not the same dress. It's killing me. That's an embroidery example. That's a brocade example. Mother Mary. I was like, could the lion be brocade? I don't know. Here's another lion example. He looks sad. Oh. Well, he's got this thing shoved in his mouth. Anyway, lion armor example. Another armor example. Why did I don't know. This is all... Hello? Why aren't you focusing? Hello? Hello? There we go. Weird. Okay, anyway, these are embroidery stitches. That's for future reference. Okay. This was 1300? And it has the gathered bust here, but a different neckline. So but the thick waistband up at the, like right under the bust. But the sleeves, here's another example, starting to widen from the bust downward, blah, blah, blah. Unimportant. This is what's important. The gathered, this look of the that's the Gemara, isn't it? I don't, okay. Blah, blah, blah. This is, yes. Okay. Then here's another example. Double belted. Like the Greeks or Romans. But yes, this neckline with this kind of gathering at the bust, which for me, I'm gonna need a lot of fabric. But the sleeves, the bag sleeves, are the same color as the dress under it. So it's herg. This is the time period, give or take, like 30 years, but so the sleeve, but the neck, I don't know. Now this, okay, this, if I could see the neckline of this dress, that would be beautiful, because that's what I want. And then if that neckline is embellished, if there's poof right there, that's what I'm looking for. But there's other colors on top of it, and here's an example of another tarot card with dagged sleeves that are long and like flowy and go back behind her. I don't know. Oh, that's me. Hello. Okay. So that's my rant. I don't know what else to say. Okay. There's not going to be a conclusion. We're just going to go back right here. It perplexes me. I don't know where to start even, because the dress confuses me. Do I do a glimera underneath it and then the polanda on top? Do I do the glimera, a gold glimera but there's nothing under. It's the blue lining of the dress, and then I don't know. Any help at all, please help. Okay, goodbye.